Hello, thank you all for joining us. I am Crystal Sowells for another episode of Demon Life, and I am here with the girl who runs the world, Mrs. Kristen Dupree. Thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem.
Awesome, awesome. So, really, I invited you here to talk about your experience as a grad assistant at the Academic Success Center. And you are the supervisor over tutors. You do some editing for papers in MLA format, APA format, all of those wonderful things. But before we kind of get to that, I want to go all the way back.
Not too far back.
Not too far back, but let's go back to freshman year. And so you have all of these awesome things under your belt. You're doing these things now, but have you ever would have guessed that you'll be doing this now?
Oh no. Let's see. I started my freshman year here at Northwestern State back in 2010, and I would never have thought in a million years that I would be here now, 7 years later. I'll graduate with my master's in December, and as well as being a graduate assistant for the Academic Success Center, which didn't even exist back then. I'm also a counselor intern for Counseling and Career Services on campus, and it's been a crazy ride over these 7 years. I met my husband here, and I'm gonna be so bittersweet to leave Northwestern.
Yes, that is so awesome. And so you mentioned they didn't even have an academic success program when you came into school. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that's like been a great help for the students here at Northwestern?
I do. I think it has given Northwestern State a great home to house our tutors for just the general Northwestern students, and I think it has been a great place for us to combine a lot of things that we had scattered around campus, because originally paper editing and things like that were done in the Writing Center in Kaiser, and the tutors they bounced around a little bit. At one point they were in the Union, and I think it's been a great place for all of these things to come together. And it is being spearheaded by our director, Miss Ashley Briggs, and she is just a wonderful woman who does everything she can to make sure that our students' needs are being met.
Awesome, awesome. So at the Student Success Center, can you tell us a little bit what you do and to help the students?
I, along with 4 others, are the graduate assistants, and our primary focus is essentially to do whatever Miss Ashley needs us to do. But we assist in advising academically at-risk students, some that are coming in where their ACT scores might not be on target, and just making sure that they are starting Northwestern on the best foot possible, and that their first year here is as successful as it can be. And we're actually in the process of gearing up right now for freshman connections that are coming up at the end of this month and the start of June. We also do paper editing. If someone sends us a paper, we get it back to them within 72 hours with comments on it about, if grammar, punctuation, if formatting isn't correct. I specifically do APA and MLA, so APA is like where I'm really at, but yeah.
Awesome. And so is this geared more towards freshmen, or is this available for all students?
Most of our academic advising that we do in terms of the at-risk students is freshmen, but tutoring and the paper services are for freshmen all the way up through graduate students. We've edited several thesis and paper in lieu, and with finals right around the corner, a lot of term papers are going to be coming through.
Okay, so since it's geared more towards freshmen, and we've already kind of taken it back a little bit, a few years, and talked about your journey as an undergrad. So what are some things that you learned as a freshman, or really just any year that you were here before you graduated, that you could tell the incoming freshmen or the students that enter into the center?
Oh wow. Thinking back on it, if I could, some advice that I would give younger me would be to not procrastinate and don't miss a single class. I would skip the occasional class, and I would procrastinate on my work till the last minute as a freshman, because it was new and it was exciting, and everything else just seemed so important. And if that would be the advice that I would give to younger me.
Yes, Yes. Well, that's good because I tell you what, I would give myself that same advice as a freshman. So do y'all ever have any students that come back and say, "Thank you, Miss Kristen. Thank you, Miss Ashley," just for pouring into them and kind of helping them get back on their feet and learn how to balance things? Have y'all had any students to do that?
I would definitely say that we have. Miss Ashley, having been doing this a lot longer, she's had more students come back and tell her that. And I've seen some of the students that she has mentored that have gone all the way from her student worker when she was working in the graduate office all the way to they're now graduated with their master's working on their PhD, and they'll come and they'll still seek her advice, and they just thank her for her presence in her life. And she's a remarkable woman that I hope I can one day aspire to influence students like that.
Awesome. That is awesome. And I'm sure that's a great feeling, or just a great thing to see, to have somebody to be an inspiration to you and to see people come back and, thank them and everything like that. So, from my understanding, there are some events that you put together and some things that you plan. So, how does that work and what's coming up?
We, throughout the course of every fall and spring semester, we do success workshops that are open to students to attend. Yesterday, I did one called Credit Fits, and it's just educating students about what credit is, how it affects your credit score, because a lot of incoming students, they're going to graduate from Northwestern and they're not fully sure about how that works. It's just this mystical adult thing, and it's like, oh, I'm not quite ready to adult yet. So it's just something, we try to do things that'll help students not only here, but once they leave the sacred halls of Northwestern. And actually next week, next Wednesday at 5, we're going to be hosting Stretch Before You Stress, and it is going to be co-led by one of the counselors from Counseling and Career Services. And it's just going to be teaching some students some low impact stretches that they can do to reduce their stress and kind of relax and work out all that stiffness while they're studying for finals, since they are right around the corner.
Yes, I'm sure that will be much, much, much needed. Are there any other assistants that are going to be helping you? Is there going to be like a special guest, or is this everything that you all will be teaching?
We do have a study skills workshop coming up next week. I think it is on the 26th. I'm not familiar with the time, but we do have another workshop coming up, and that'll pretty much wrap up our semester. Just because with finals coming, we need to be available, have all our tutors on deck, so that we are making sure that our students are as well prepared as they can be.
Awesome, awesome. Well, before we go, I would like to know, or could you tell all the freshmen or incoming freshmen, or just anyone that may know someone, where can they come to find the center and to find some help?
We are located on the first floor of Watson Library, so in room 108. And when you first walk in, you'll see the tutors are typically straight ahead, and then Miss Ashley's office is room 108D. And she is there Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, and on Fridays from 8 to 12. And tutors are typically available on Sundays from 4 to 9, and Monday through Thursday from 8 to 8, and on Fridays from 8 to 1. And we try to keep our tutors as available as they possibly can be, so we can meet the needs of the students.
Awesome. And just one last question: is there any paperwork that they need to fill out, or?
Typically, we'll have students fill out a basic information form, name, student ID, what you're needing help in, and when you're available, just so that we can see when we can get you in with a tutor, and what subjects you're needing help in, so that we can find the right tutor for you.
Awesome. Well, Miss Kristen, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your journey here at Northwestern State, as well as the Academic Success Center and some of the events that you've been planning. And also, I want to thank you, whether you're a first-time viewer or you are a viewer who watches all the time. I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Demon Life, and we will see you next time.